Hi and welcome to the No War Zone. It's November 2008 and 2 days to the budget, which dominates the agenda in Parliament. This year's defence allocation is bigger than it has ever been and overshadows other areas such as health and education. The government strongly believes that this is what will take to overcome the terror threat in the country. But is it at the risk at compromising other developmental needs?
The budget for the year 2009 totals at 980 billion rupees. Allocations for local government and provincial councils, health, education and agriculture are among the more substantial, but the largest allocation is for defence spending.
Even though it is 177 billion, it was something like 50 billion in 2004. So it's 3.5-fold increase. In fact, 2004 was much less than 2001. So expenditure on defense actually came down during the ceasefire, and now it's gone up tremendously. Of course, that is only the expenditure from the government of Sri Lanka side. There is a huge defense expenditure on the LTT side also, right? And that is also expropriated by people, by way of taxes and so on by the tigers. We don't know what that is, right? So even the financial cost of the war is higher than the 177 billion.
The war is clearly taking up most of the country's resources, and economist Dr. Harsha De Silva believes that it is resulting in a range of indirect losses as well.
One of the biggest indirect costs is the foregone opportunities. Tourism, investment. You see, when in 1977, after the economy was open, there was a huge inflow of private capital into Sri Lanka, foreign direct investments. This peaked in 83, and with the start of this war in 83, just continued to decline. And so, if you add up the lost opportunities in investment, it's kind of sad, because we could have been a better place than, I think, Malaysia, for instance.
From the government's perspective, they have little choice. The huge cost of the war is justified by the challenge they are attempting to overcome from the threat of terrorism.
මහ විශාල අභියෝග මැද්දේ මේක ඉදිරිපත් කරන්න වෙන්නේ. ඒ නිසා මහ විශාල සහන ලබා ගන්නවා වගේම බලාපොරොත්තු වෙනවා වගේම මේ අභියෝගات එක තියෙන ප්‍රධාන කාරණාව තියෙන සහන ආරක්ෂා කර ගැනීම. ඒක මම හිතන්නේ අපි කවුරුත් වටහා ගත යුතුයි. මොකද එක පැත්තකින් අපි කියනවා මේ රටේ ත්‍රස්තවාදය පරාජය කරලා ඉක්මනට මේ රට නිදහස් කරලා දෙන්න. තවත් පැත්තකින් අපි බලාපොරොත්තු වෙන්නේ හැම විටකම අපේ මේ මුදල් පසුම්බියට කීයක් හරි වැඩි වෙන්නේ කොහොමද? අපේ බත්පත් මං කියන්නේ ප්‍රශ්න විශාල වශයෙන් තියෙනවා. හැබැයි අපි සියලු දෙනා කැපවීමෙන් ජාතිය දිනවිය යුතු වකවානුවක තමයි මේ අයවැලේකට සකස් වෙන්නේ. අපි අභ්‍යන්තරව ලෝකේ ඉන්න ප්‍රබලම ත්‍රස්තවාදී සංවිධානය පරාජය කිරීමේ අභියෝගයත් එක්ක යන ආණ්ඩුවක්. හැබැයි මේ මොකවත් නැති ආණ්ඩුවල දරදේශීය නිෂ්පාදිතයට සාපේක්ෂව බලන්න කියලා මම ආරාධනා කරනවා මේ චෝදනාව කරන අයට මේ ආරක්ෂක වියදම කීයද කියලා.
For the people, however, a new budget always brings expectations of relief and benefits. This demonstration near the Colombo Fort railway station, 2 weeks before the budget for 2009 is presented in Parliament, raised the voice of trade union activists and highlighted their call for the relief they expect.
ජීවත් වෙන ජීවන මිල පහළ දාන්න කියන අරමුණින් තමයි අපි මෙතෙන්ට ආවේ අද. පාඩි වැඩි කරලා දෙන්න, ජීවන මිල අඩු කරලා දෙන්න. දා ජීවත් වෙන්න අමාරුයි රටේ ඉන්න හැමෝටම වගේ.
යුද්ධ කරන්නයි අපිව පාව දෙන්නයි බෑනේ. රජයේ සේකයන් හැමදාම බිල්ලට දීලා යුද්ධ ගෙනියන්න බෑ. යුද්ධ කරනවා යුද්ධ කරනවා. ඒ හින්දා අපිට හැමදාම අවුරුදු ගාණක්ම අපි මේ පඩි එපා කියලා බලන් ඉන්න බෑනේ. අපිට වැටුමක් තියෙනවා සාධාරණ. අපිට ඒ වැටුම හම්බ වෙන්නේ නැහැ.
The Jatika Sevaka Sangamaya and its affiliated trade unions want the government to take note of the hardships facing the people and provide them with an immediate salary increase.
මේ රටේ ජනතාවට ජීවත් වෙන්න අමාරුකම් ගොඩක් වැඩි වෙලා තිබෙනවා. විශේෂයෙන් වැඩ කරන ජනතාවට අඩුම ගානේ රුපියල් 7500කවත් වැටුප් වැඩි කරන්න කියලා බල කරන්න තමයි මේ විරෝධතා ව්‍යාපාරය අද ක්‍රියාත්මක කරලා තිබෙන්නේ.
Cost of living is the main problem for the people. But in the light of the war context and the structure of the new budget's proposals, to what extent are their expectations likely to be met?
See, in a country when you have 25% inflation, people find it very difficult to live. Right? So salaries have to go up. I mean, how much does a teacher make? 17,000 rupees? So how, and suppose he or she is, the sole breadwinner. You have a family of, 4.5 people, 5 people. How do you make ends meet? Everything is going up in price. You see, the inflation is a bigger terrorist than, Prabhakaran and the gang. Because it affects everyone. And the poor gets hit harder. So from the labor union's point of view, you can't blame them. They're just trying to survive.
Sri Lanka's economic woes are endless. The bigger picture involves the impact of decades of budget deficits, bridging loans, repayment of debt, and high inflation. Only good economic growth and productivity over the long term can really put things right and bring relief to everyone. If the government does bring peace to the country once more, this may indeed become a reality.
They are just asking for a salary increase, but inflation is 25%. Why is inflation 25%? Squarely the fault of the government. Right? So the government has to do what it has to do to bring inflation down. And once inflation is brought down, if people are still asking for salary revisions, then that's another story, but not now.